Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Matt Horn
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I am a ghost, an elite soldier. Trained to strike my enemies before they know I exist.
Hey, Matt. Just waiting here to have our interview. Don't know where you're at, but, yeah, I don't know. If you don't answer me, you should go buy Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because I think you'll really enjoy it, and I think everyone will enjoy it. And if that's the only thing you hear from the interview, I guess that's it.
on the line. We have Sean Colby talking to us. From where are you talking to us from, Sean?
I'm from Toronto right now, Toronto, Canada.
Oh, another Canadian.
Yes.
I love the Canadian people. I think they love me.
I think people like your accent, probably.
It could be that. It could be that. I suppose I've got to ask you the question that's been going on with many Canadian actors since the dawn of time. Which out of the following is the best Canadian city? Montreal, Toronto, or Vancouver?
I'm actually originally from Montreal, so I would have to say Montreal.
Any particular reason why?
Well, I think it's just the culture there. I think it's just the kind of the way of life there, and it's way cheaper to live in Montreal than it is in any other city in Canada, I guess. And I don't know. I guess that's where home is too, right? Because I'm from there. And Toronto is a bit more business, I would say, business orientated.
And I'm guessing you've never been to Vancouver.
I have been to Vancouver, like as visiting, but I've never lived in Vancouver.
That's more sort of outdoorsy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place though in Vancouver. And just the way of life, and also like how there's nature and there's a city and there's the kind of combination. But I've kind of always stayed on the east side of Canada. Well,
obviously we need to talk about the reason why we've actually got you here. It's because of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yes, exactly. Did you play the game? Did you enjoy it?
I've seen it. I've looked at the walkthroughs. I enjoy anything that is mocap based, I suppose. I think, to be honest, I mean, they released it in October, didn't they? Sort of latter end of October.
Mm-hmm.
You've sort of had a bit of an issue in terms of sales, possibly because of Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's funny because as an actor, I'm not really a part of any of that, right? I just kind of go in, I do the characters, and then sales and all that. I don't really look at that. My job is to go in and to portray a character, and that's kind of where I keep my focus, really.
So obviously, I have to ask the most important question of them all, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
What was production of the game like for you?
I mean, it's interesting to get cast in a video game these days because it's very secretive, and you don't know what you're auditioning for. So you go into the audition room, and it's a code name, and so you audition for this thing. You don't know what you're auditioning for, and then I guess 4 months later, you get a call that you need to be on set doing mocap and all that. So it's very interesting how you enter into the game. Again, video games are very secretive because of, I guess, how big they are and how much everyone's trying to find secrets on the internet and trying to find like who's been cast and all that. But the actual production on the set everyone was a great, very collaborative, great actors, great filmmakers. Yeah, I really enjoyed my experience.
And obviously, it is Ubisoft in Montreal, so it's almost like going back home, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. In Montreal, Ubisoft is always there. They're always filming something. It's a huge amount of work that comes out of Montreal is from just Ubisoft.
Obviously, I need to talk about mocap. Obviously, it's, as you said, as you mentioned, it's the newest kid on the block almost in terms of technology. What was it like doing that? I mean, obviously, you get suited up in this Velcro type spandex ball-laden thing, sort of a camera mounted to your head.
Yeah, it's kind of like 4 cameras. The only thing that can get uncomfortable, I guess, is more just the neck, right? Because of the cameras, they weigh your head forward. So your neck can get kind of sore after a while, especially if you're doing it all day. but you have to use a lot of your imagination in mocap. You need to be able to really see everything because there's nothing. You have nothing on you. You're just, you're in spandex, like you said. You really got to use all your sensory imagination that you can as an actor, which is like kind of like being a kid again, right? It's like playing pretend, just with a lot more money.
Obviously, that I have a lot of people from Canada who are mocap artists on the show.
Yeah.
They've always said that mocap is kind of like theatre. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess in some sense that you do have to be a bit bigger because you do have to have movement. Because if you're not moving, it's not going to read anything, right? So I guess that's what they mean. It's a bit more like theatre in that sense.
Obviously, you did another game before this. You did Man of Medan.
Yeah, Man of Medan. Yeah, and that one was just face recognition, so it wasn't actually full body. That one was an interesting game too because I don't know if you know about that game. Have you heard of it before?
I have heard of it.
Yeah, so it's like a horror game, right? And it's kind of like choose your own destiny, choose your own adventure game. So you can kind of go like in so many different directions depending on what you choose your character to do. So because it is a horror game, you have to die in like 10 different ways. So basically, it's just you doing a lot of screaming and dying, and just in so many different ways, which is very fun to do, but really hard on the voice actually by the end of the day.
So with Man of Medan, which I keep pronouncing wrong, that was facial, and then obviously Tom Clancy was full body, wasn't it? So really, in terms of like mocap, that was sort of your virgin type gig.
For my first mocap gig? Yeah, basically that was the first one when I did full mocap in it. But, in Montreal, especially the union there, the actual union, because the video game world is so big in Montreal, they actually make these workshops to give actors an opportunity to use mocap and to study mocap even before they're casting it. So I was already trained in mocap before I even did Ghost Recon.
I did not know that, Sean. That's very interesting.
Right? And they want actors to be prepared when they go for a gig.
I mean, I thought you guys just sort of turned up and they sort of did like a what do you call it, a sort of a basic training type day gig.
Yeah. No, there's none of that really. I mean, they guide you through the T-pose. I'm assuming you know all that, right? What T-poses and all that is. They kind of make sure everything is calibrated towards all the cameras.
I know it's sort of like you start off in one position and then you somehow end up in that position again.
Like the T-pose?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they make you go through a series of different movements so then they can track your whole body and like how it moves so that it can all be calibrated with all the cameras on the walls. Every time that you get onto the floor, you have to redo the T-pose so it can just sync up with your body. Yeah, it's very technical. I don't know much about it.
So, obviously, I do need to ask this question. Are there any sort of funny anecdotes you can share about the production of the game?
Man, we shot this so long ago, right? It takes so long for a game to come out. I mean, nothing really comes to my mind right away. I guess it's so far away in my mind. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny when everyone has to go to the bathroom. I mean, that's like a main thing, because you have all the suit on, right? And the cameras are still on, and if you forget to tell someone to turn off your camera or turn off your mic, that is always interesting, so people are listening to that.
It's a bit...
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like the most flattering cameras, right? These are like 4 cameras on your face, like super zoomed in, like very close-ups. So it's probably very interesting for the people watching the screens.
Privacy setting, that's what they need, Sean. They need a privacy setting. Ah, dear. So let's talk a bit about you, Sean, you yourself. What made you want to get into acting in the first place?
Well, I started when I was about, I would say roughly 15 years old. I did a lot of improv in high school. And so I guess I came from more of a improv base. That's where I started, kind of in class. And my sister actually did a lot of improv, and I kind of followed in her footsteps. And once I got a taste of that, it kind of just took off, and I decided that I was going to be an actor. I decided I was going to take part in this very difficult industry.
What advice would you give to anyone wanting to pursue a career in the industry?
I think that you need to love it. it's got to be the only thing you want to do, really. Because if it's not something that you feel in your core, it's going to be too hard. You're going to get so much rejection in this industry. This is just what it is, right? So you need to really feel that passionate about it if you're going to pursue it.
Obviously, I need to go through your IMDb. Actually, to sort of add on to your answer there about getting into the industry, you've done a number of shorts.
Yeah, I have, yes.
I mean, I'm looking at Pokemon.
Yeah. That one had a lot of views, actually, on YouTube. That had over 300,000 views on YouTube.
But obviously, are you playing the brother, or the...
So basically, that short was a friend of mine who decided he wanted to make a kind of live-action Pokemon short, and it was the origin story of where his father was, basically, the whole time. Because, his dad's never in any of the Pokemon games. So it's kind of the story of how his dad left his kind of son alone with his... It's kind of dark, actually. Left his son alone with his mother and also Professor Oak, who was kind of a family friend. So yeah, it's kind of like a dark origin story of Pokemon.
The interesting thing, I suppose you could say, regarding this, is it's live-action Pokemon.
Yes.
I suppose a lot of people had similar ideas, like yourselves, to do live-action Pokemon, and then they come out with Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
Yes. Did you enjoy that?
I have cursed it.
You didn't like it at all?
I am still saying to people that I think Pikachu's a girl.
Why not?
When they announced it, when they said, right, Pikachu's going to be played by Ryan Reynolds, I was like, really? What? But I suppose going on the sort of the gaming front as well, because obviously we've talked about Tom Clancy, we've talked about Man of Medan, and then obviously we just mentioned about Pokemon. There was a good big Canadian film last year, wasn't there, that you were in, called E-Hero? I've not heard of this film before.
It was a film about professional gamers. Kind of the world of professional gaming, because there really hasn't been a movie made about that before in a drama setting. It's always usually about comedies, but this was a very intense drama. And so I played this very almost psychopathic kind of best video gamer in this specific game, and they kind of go through that world, and it's a really intense world. Have you ever seen documentaries about how much they train for video games, especially on the east of the world, I guess? Not as much here, but it's a really intense world.
Mm. I mean, StarCraft springs quite quickly to mind in the east.
That's it, and there's so much money in it now, too. It's becoming, like, national sports. So that's what they were kind of bank on. They were trying to kind of put a movie out there to kind of express that. And, yeah. Sean Astin was in it, which was very cool. He was in Lord of the Rings. He kind of played my manager, which was very interesting to kind of act with him.
I'm looking at the plot line and I'm thinking, is this a bit sort of Fortnite here? Fortnite before Fortnite really took off.
The game kind of looked like Halo. It was kind of a first-person shooter game. So I guess it was kind of closer to that kind of game style. Arena first-player shooter game, team game, where it's kind of 4-on-4. The amount of CGI that was needed to make this game cost a lot of money, and it took a lot of time because everything that was on our computer screens needed to be CGI'd, and they needed to basically create this game and all the graphics. So it actually took a good amount of time to do that.
Well, obviously you've been in a number of different projects. Which actors and actresses have been your favourites to work with, and why?
Interesting. One of the recent film sets I was on was Midway. It just came out actually recently. Roland Emmerich directed it. It was about World War II. It was a huge production, and what was so interesting about that was how immersive they created the world around us, especially in a war setting. So I was in a kind of fighter jet, and so they built a whole fighter jet in a studio, and to make it easier on the actors, and I guess to make it more practical, they shot huge fans at us to make us feel like we're in the air, because they didn't really have shelter back then in the skies. So we felt all this kind of air hitting us really hard. The guns that we used were actually shooting just kind of fire coming out of it. We could feel the rumbling of the actual airplane. We can feel gunshots hitting. They were shooting stuff at our airplanes to feel like sparks were hitting off of us, like we were getting hit with gunshots. So that production felt so immersive. It was so easy to act in because everything was kind of real, or felt real at least.
Are there any other actors?
I mean, even actually, E-Hero was a great experience just acting wise. Sean Astin was in it. He's like a huge star, and it was a very collaborative set, and I think a lot of the actors were on the same page and we're just all in it together. So I think that experience I really enjoyed too, just with everyone.
Well, obviously the future is bright, the future is Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any sort of roles that you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
I would love to play a serial killer, some of those dark characters. I find it so interesting, the psychology behind those characters, and to play those. So I would love to do that.
So anything like Joker, maybe?
I don't think it's anything specific, like any specific characters I want to play. It's more just any type of characters, kind of like that way of thinking, right? The way like a psychopath thinks is very different than you and me. And so how do you kind of get into that and play that? It must be such a task to do that.
What about Marvel or DC? You sort of inclined there, or?
Yeah, offer me anything, I would take it. I mean, if you're in a Marvel film, then your career has skyrocketed. Basically, I would definitely take something from Marvel.
DC, I think it was being done in Vancouver. I'm pretty sure they're still doing it now.
Yeah, they do a lot of DC TV shows, like The Flash and all those type of shows. They do a lot of CW shows there. Because I guess they're so close to LA, they kind of just go over to Vancouver and get some tax credits there, tax breaks. I feel like there is more happening in Toronto than there is actually in Vancouver.
Dangerous word, Sean.
I think it's just because there is a lot of more indie films happening in Toronto, so there's so much more going on in that sense. A lot of indie films, a lot of Canadian content, but I think Vancouver is a lot of like the CW shows that are going on.
Are there any actors that you would like to work with?
Actors, for sure.
Or actresses?
Ryan Gosling, I find he's a great actor. Like, super versatile in some of the things that he's done. I'd love to work with him. There's definitely an actor that I kind of look up to a lot because of how versatile he is and the amount of films I've seen him, like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know if you've seen him in a lot, but he has done some crazy films. Like, have you ever seen him in Nightcrawler? You ever seen that film?
No, but I've seen him in Source Code, and I thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah, Source Code, Nightcrawler, he plays such a weird character, and he plays from one side to the other, kind of like a chameleon, and that's what I kind of want to base my career off after. I want to play everything. I want to be able to play everything. Any actor who does that, yeah, I kind of look at them in awe, because it's probably such a thrill to be able to do that. It's difficult because a lot of actors are typecast, right, the way they look, and that's what you go in for because that's the way you look. So to try and break that mold, it's a bit difficult to do.
Who's the one I'm thinking of? He's almost done the same thing. He's British. James McAvoy. Yeah.
Oh, even James McAvoy. Yeah, he's a great actor. I mean, there's so many right now, so many actors right now that are like chameleons because they're given the opportunity to do that.
Well, I'm going to give you a 1 minute plug, Sean. To plug Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is the longest title we've ever had on this show, and anything else pending NDA that you've got coming up.
Yeah, so everyone should go and play Ghost Recon. Great storylines, and I think the acting, they put a lot of focus on the storylines and the acting, and I think that's what's going to come through with that game. And I think if you're into that, you're going to love this game. I'm doing a TV show right now called Hardy Boys. It's going to come out soon, and yeah, keep an eye out for me in that. That's going to be a kind of a dark version of Hardy Boys, which is, I guess, what everyone's doing now with Riverdale. They're kind of making a dark version of Riverdale, and this is like the dark version of Hardy Boys. So I think people will really enjoy that too.
Well, Sean, it's been a pleasure interviewing you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot for calling me. I really appreciate it.
Obviously, we'll have to get you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks very much for your time.
No worries.
Bye-bye now.
Have a good day.